Right, we should be live now. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me properly. So we've got about 8 minutes before to start. Let me check. 6 minutes. Let me know that it's all good with the sound on the video. Yes, perfect. Good, good. Perfect. Thank you, Joe. Apologies about the sound, by the way. It's not gonna be as good as it usually is because I've managed to leave my microphone at home. Well, not home. I had to leave the hotel room at 5:45 in the dark, and I managed to leave my microphone there. So I realized a bit late. I could have run back, but I thought, you know what? There's no traffic noises here. It's not windy today, and at least you might be able to hear the waves. It's not very wavy, but you might be able to hear the sea a bit better. So I decided to do without. Obviously, it might not be as good, but let's see. Hi, Lethargy. Well, let's see who I've missed. Hi, Mike. Kill. I think I've seen everyone. And welcome everyone else that I've not greeted. Hi, Pauline. Nice to see you here. So we've got about 5 minutes before to start. We're just waiting for everyone to connect. You can probably hear quite a few animals in the background. We've got the roosters again, but I can hear some... I don't even know where they are. Oh, good, good, Tish. Good. It's not too windy. It's not windy at all anyway. And we won't go on the road because the signal... We can try, but the signal in the village doesn't seem to be amazing. So I think we'll stay on the beach for now. It's very difficult to test the signal because it seems to be changing very quickly in the Philippines. Maybe because of the weather, maybe, I don't know how, but it's a bit tricky for me to check ahead. So finger crossed that the gods of the internet will stay with us. Hi, Ronnie. Let me show you. Have I found my monkey friends? Yeah, the mini monkeys. Yeah, I saw them in Bohol, the Tashir. Yeah, I think they look like me. They have massive eyes. Although they have a 360 degrees rotating head, which I don't. I'm quite flexible, but not that much. So it is nearly 6:30 a.m. here. So the sun is about to rise. I didn't call this tour a sunrise tour because we are on the west side, so the sun is on the other side of the island. Let me see the time. 3 minutes. And Pisas is here. Welcome, Pisas. So we've got a couple of minutes before to start. By the way, do not let me chat too much. I have to finish the tour by 7. I have a minivan at 8, so I need to go back to the hotel, pick up my stuff and my friends, and run to the bus terminal. It's not really a bus terminal. It's just some kind of building, but yeah, because I'm moving to El Nido today, and we don't want to miss the minivan because well, we've booked it, and the next one is in 5 hours. Welcome, Herbivore. So we've got 2 minutes before to go. 2 minutes. Keep letting us know in the chat where you're tuning from. We still have time to get to know each other. Well, 2 minutes exactly. And it is here 6:28 a.m. Hi Quinn, nice to see you here, welcome. Let me check the time. It sounds like ducks as well, but I didn't see any ducks. Got some nice shelf here. I downloaded the list of the sea shelf that you're not allowed to bring back, and there's actually quite a few. You can hear the roosters, yeah. They are less here than they were in Malapascua, the first location I did, but there still are quite a few. One minute to go. Those roosters are loud. Yes, they are. Well, you know what? They a lot of people have do cockfighting here, so they have their own cock to fight. And you know what I just discovered? Not only do they do cockfighting, they also do spider fighting. I've seen a video. So they have two spiders on some kind of a lane, like a strip of something or like a mini rope. The spider fight. Sometimes they don't want to fight, so you have to to give up. And the first they don't have to die, but the first spider that falls down, they lose, but they bet money on it, like the cockfighting. It's interesting, let's say. I'm not really much into animal fighting, but interesting. How hot is it today? It's quite chilled at the moment, but it's only 6 a.m. In a couple of hours, it'll get quite hot. Let me see if it is time. And yes, it is time. So welcome, guys. It is officially 6:31 a.m. Welcome to Port Barton in Palawan. For those that just joined, apologies about the sound. It might not be as good as it usually is because I've managed to leave my microphone behind. But hopefully it's not windy, so it should be all good. And for the ones that don't know me, I'm Natalie. Welcome to the Philippines. So it's 6:30 a.m. So it's gonna be very quiet on the beach. But I just wanted to show you around. Let's go. So Port Barton is really not as famous as El Nido, for example. And when you read all the blogs, or those blogs or articles or YouTubers, they say that Port Barton is very authentic, that it's really not as touristic as El Nido, for example. That's where I'm going to next. And it's not. It is very touristy. I suppose when you come from El Nido, here it's a little bit quieter. I'm actually scared about what I'll find in El Nido because I find this... Oh, look at that. Starfish. That's a baby. That's a baby, I think. I don't know if you guys have ever eaten starfish. It is absolutely disgusting. I've tried years ago. I've tried in China. Horrible. I actually spitted it out on the market. Let me show you something. Yesterday, for the first time, I've discovered that starfish, they have eggs. Let me put it a bit bigger. So those are starfish eggs. You can see the one with the darker star. That one got stuck. If you looked at the back, so the starfish are meant to escape the egg, and sometimes they get trapped. So the top right is actually dead. I've collected a couple yesterday. I hope I'm allowed to bring them back. because I've downloaded the list of seashells that you're not allowed to bring back to your country, but those are not seashells, they're eggs, so I don't know, but they're quite cool. I didn't know starfish had eggs until yesterday. Right, let me remove the photo. Oops, hold on. How do I do this? Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So yeah, oh, there was another one here. Oh no, it's still there. I think that's a baby, because we have they have massive starfishes here, but not like this. They also have a lot of blue ones. Oh, and look, that's a crony. Those we're not allowed to bring them back. I've checked on the list. It's forbidden. Well, there are different species of cronies. In French, we call them the coffee beans, because we think they look like coffee beans. In China, they think it looks like something else. They think it looks like the female genitalia. That's why they are a symbol of fertility. And back in the days, they used to, before we had money, before we had coins, in China they used them as currency. And actually, they even have found some fake ones. Archaeologists have found some fake crony. Hello. And we have the stray dogs here as well. So yeah, they've got a interesting history, those little seashells. Wouldn't fancy eating a starfish? Well, I always try everything I can, but I was absolutely... You know what I've tried here? I've got a video. I'll do a little video of each location. Well, you need to be bold to try that. It's a delicacy here. It's a fertilizer. Well, it's basically an embryo in an egg. So it's an egg with a baby chicken inside. It's, oh my God. Luckily, I was a bit tipsy when I tried. They've got some local rum that cost you less than $1 a bottle. So yeah, after a few drinks, I believed it was a good idea to try those eggs. Yeah, it's very interesting, let's say. I wouldn't call it a delicacy. This friend is staying with us now. Hello. Your dad ate sea urchins. Oh, they eat a lot of them in Italy. In Catania, it's a very popular meal, sea urchins with pasta. Actually, the government in Catania is trying to stop the fishing of sea urchins because they are disappearing from this area. I'm not very friendly with urchins at the moment because we had a terrible excursion in Alona Beach, the worst excursion ever. And the guide literally sent us barefoot on a batch of urchins. I wasn't targeted too bad, but there were a lot of Koreans on the boat that had massive urchins, sticks, I don't know how you call them, into their foot. And that can really ruin your holiday, you know. Oh, another one. That's funny. I didn't notice them yesterday. Oh, because it was high tide yesterday. I think it's not there. I think it's just let me see. Hey, my doggy friend. No. Hold on. No, don't lick the phone. Yeah, I think it's still a baby, I think. Hi, Tariq, and welcome everyone that just joined. Welcome to Port Barton. Is the water warm? Yes. Well, it's early morning right now. I've got my feet in the water, but it's they are everywhere. I think there was one here as well. We can see a bit of a star. I think those are babies, you know, because I've seen them. There's an island here called Starfish Island. Well, it's not really an island. It's just a batch of sand in the sea, and then you have hundreds of starfish there. We've done island hopping yesterday. The excursions here are very, very well organized. compared to what we've done in Alona Beach in Panglao. Although you have many boats, you're not all together at the same time at the same spot. The guides were very nice and funny and very well organized compared to what we've seen elsewhere. So even though it is quite touristy, it doesn't feel like overly crowded, like I'm probably gonna experience in El Nido today. Let's see. So it's still early, but in a couple of hours, this bay here, it's gonna be full of those little boats. All of them are excursions. You have different circuits, but they go island hopping. So you go and see the starfish, then you go snorkeling. There are a few coral reefs. You go, I think that's a baby as well there. You go, because you can see a bit of the star. You go and swim with the turtles as well, which is quite, yeah, the dogs are following me. Quite exciting. I think we should have a video of me swimming with a turtle in my friend's GoPro. I'll be doing a little video of each location, so I can show you that. And talking about those excursions, one tour guide here in 1994, one of those guides on those boats going island hopping, his name was Salvador, 35 years old, well loved by everyone in the community, well loved by the tourists. Well, guess what? He was the first one to be back on the death row. The Philippines has had quite an interesting relationship to the death penalty. And in '87, they were the first country in Asia to abolish it. And a few years later, they brought it back. So in 1994, I think it was, or 1993 maybe. And when they brought it back, they decided, yes, they were going to go for the death penalty again, but they didn't know how. So a lot of people were on the death row, like Salvador. He was accused of basically raping his friend's girlfriend, a British actress. And he was on the death row forever because they didn't have the facilities well, they didn't know how to execute people. They actually sent some specialists to the US to study the different options, you know. Eventually they went for lethal injections, and they kept the death penalty until 2006. Then they abolished it again, and still today there are politicians talking about bringing it back. So yeah. Oh, you had the turtle swimming right next to you as well, Linda. Yeah, that's amazing. There are a few spots in the Philippines where you can swim with turtles, but sometimes you have hundreds of boats over them and it's not fun. The one I've done in Alona Beach, oh yes, I was very close to a turtle, but I had at least 10 people snorkeling above me on 2 boats, so it was actually quite dangerous. Whereas here it's quite well organized, so you don't have to deal with that. It's quite good. My doggy friends are leaving me. The dogs here, it's quite interesting because you have a lot of stray dogs, a lot of them, and sadly some of them are sick. You know, they've got well, some diseases or tumors, and it's quite sad to see them suffering. But the actual, I was going to say nice dogs, not nice, but the dogs that have maybe a bit of a pedigree or whatever, they sometimes keep them in cages. Why would you put a dog in a cage? So yeah, it's a bit shocking, really. Maybe they just don't want them to mix, or maybe they don't nurture them. I don't know, but yeah, I've seen a few dogs in cages, so not nice. Yeah, which one is it? Yeah, my friend here is wearing a collar. Sometimes they have well, sometimes they kind of adopt the stray one anyway, because there was one of those little eateries. Hey, he's just bumped into me. One of those little like eateries, little canteen that are not very much for the tourist. One of them had two little pussycats, and they were trying to give us one. They were like, "Oh, you take it to London, you take it to London." I would have loved to, but I'm not allowed in my flat share. There he is. I had a dog the other day that had, I'm pretty sure he had seen a ghost at the sunken cemetery in coming in. So it's basically a cemetery that was pushed down by a volcano eruption. I'll show you in my videos. And everywhere on the internet they said that the beach next to it has some kind of a eerie atmosphere. Well, I didn't feel anything special myself, but I was alone on the beach there because my friend was swimming, and I had a doggy friend that stayed with me, very calm, very quiet, and suddenly, out of nowhere, the dog started barking in the air like if there was someone there, you know. And I was like, what's happening? You know, what does he see that I don't see? And a second later, the dog went all quiet, and I swear he was playing with an imaginary friend. He was, you know, kind of like if he had a stick in his mouth. There was no stick or anything, and like if he was pulling it out, there was no one there. So I was like, okay, maybe if there are any ghosts, the dog can definitely see them and not me, because that was just weird. Unless it was a dog with mental health issues, I don't know. But yeah, that was just weird. So yeah, in a few hours you'll have all those guides coming here and all those tourists going for island hopping. It is the main thing to do in Port Barton. It's island hopping, and you probably don't want to rent a motorcycle unless you're fairly experienced, because they don't have roads. We rented one the first day. I don't mind too much because I had one for 10 years, so I'm okay with the bad roads, but my friend was struggling. I say roads, it's not roads, it's basically sand, rocks. We had to cross 2 rivers on a motorbike, you know. And I find it funny because it was sunny, but the same road through the rainy season would have been absolutely horrible. So the best way is to book a tuk-tuk, hello, or to go with a boat. They have a couple of... You don't want to be a YouTube superstar? They have a couple of amazing beaches here. Coconut Beach. I think I've got a photo of Coconut Beach. Let me show you. There it is. So that is Coconut Beach here. And the other one is White Beach. So it's really like paradise beaches. But again, if you want to go on a scooter, it can be a little bit scary. So the best way to go is actually to hire one of those boats. It would cost you a few dollars, and it's much safer. Ghost sniffing dogs. Yes, exactly. So we are arriving by the village here. Even in the village, you don't have roads. It's all like sandy ways. He's calling his friends to join the tour. Yes. Oh, here are the friends. Look how many there are. It's good that you're not scared of dogs. The other day I went to the pharmacy. That was so funny. The pharmacy, they sell alcohol as well. So I went to buy the rum, and on the shelves next to the rum there was a cat. And if you go to the pharmacy because you are allergic to cats, well, you find a cat in the pharmacy. So that's quite cool. Will this beach be crowded later? Joe is asking. No. This beach is not really used as a beach because they have 2 much nicer beaches. It would be very busy at the time, drink time, sunset. A lot of people are using those bars. You have a lot of massage. That's where my friend had the massage yesterday. So you'd have a lot of people having a drink here by sunset time. But when people want to enjoy the beach and chill, they go more to Coconut Beach or White Beach, which are a few kilometers down. This is mainly the port area. Palawan, by the way, you might also have heard the name Palawan because of the Palawan massacre through World War II. A bit further down, much closer to Puerto Princesa, where I landed yesterday, no, 2 days ago. Through World War II, you know, when the Japanese had taken the Philippines, they had taken prisoners, some Allied soldiers, 150 were here, and they were scared that the Allied forces might liberate them, so they executed them, but in a terrible way. They put them in some kind of trenches, and then with gasoline they set the trenches on fire, and all the soldiers that tried to escape, they were shot by the Japanese. I think 11 survived out of the 150. So horrible way to go. So that was in Puerto Princesa. That's where, if you do come to Palawan, if you come from the from Puerto Princesa to here, you might want to book a ride ahead if you come late at night. At daytime you have a lot of minivans, but at night not really. We had the worst ride ever. We were trying to negotiate a minivan with 2 French guys and 2 British girls, and the British girls bailed out, so it was only 4 of us left. So the guy, the driver, took us in his own car. It's a 3-hour ride. But the guy, oh my God, it was a rally. I kid you not, it was a rally. It was horrible. He was driving so fast with 1 phone in his hand. At some point, he even had 2 phones in his hand. And ridiculously fast. And suddenly, he slows down. I was like, oh God. He's falling asleep, and he was falling asleep on the. Oh, it was horrible. 3 hours and a half. No seatbelt, of course. So yeah, a very dangerous ride here. Let me check the time because I don't wanna. No, it's good. We've got 10 minutes. So yeah, it's probably safer in a normal minivan. The chat is very quiet. I've not lost you, have I? Let me know in the chat if you're still here. I think we're all good, but just in case. And when talking about interesting animals, there's a very interesting animal on the island. I'll wait until I get a sign from you, because either I've lost you or either I've lost the chat. I don't know, because I'm not getting any messages anymore. It's not telling me anything about signal, but oh, you're here. Good. I'm suddenly getting all the messages at once. Yeah, sometimes with Prism, I lose the chat for a second. I don't know if it's the chat or the signal. Good. So yeah, the most interesting animal I've seen here. I don't have a video because it was late at night in this crazy ride. It's called the Palawan stink badger. And so it's basically some kind of a skank that is like endemic to the island. But so it was five of us in a car, right? Two French and my friend and I. And suddenly we like, it smells like weed. And you know, it's not only me, it's 4 of us that were smelling weed. And we're like, what's that? You know, none of us had any weed on us, obviously. And the driver was like, no, it's the skunk, it's the Palawan badger. And we're like, no way, an animal that farts and it smells like weed. And it does. We've smelled a couple of others. It's a very interesting smell, very distinctive. It doesn't smell like a poo. No, it really smells like funny cigarettes. Interesting. So it's the Palawan stink badger. I've seen one, but it was dark and I didn't get a chance to take a photo. But yeah, interesting animal. Right, because the signal has been good so far, let's try to go into the village. I cannot guarantee anything because I tried yesterday and the signal seemed to be bad. But maybe because it is so early morning, maybe it's not too bad. Maybe the tourists are still sleeping, and we might have a chance. Let's see. I think I need to buy a new phone because the colors are much better in reality than they are on my screen. So I need to have a fancy phone to have better colors. Right, let's go. Better than the... What is that? Is that a bat? I can see very well the little emoji, Linda. We've seen some bats as well in the caves in... where was it? In Panglao. It was funny. There was a little Korean boy, like maximum 4 years old. He's going in the cave and he's like, Batman, 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 Batman. That was so funny. Right, let's go and try to turn into the village, see if we can. Blame it on the badger. I wish I could record the smells to make you smell it, and you tell me if we are wrong. It's yeah, quite unique, let's say. Right, let's try to turn here. We'll see. If I lose you for any reasons, don't worry, I'm still alive. It's just the signal in the village that is no good. Oh, well, let me show you the sign. I love Port Barton. Oh, that's not a street. That's just... Let's take the next one. And if any of you were watching this video in the future, of course I'm telling you there are no roads now, but it seems to be a country that is fast changing. So you might have some roads in a year or two. So it's probably gonna get easier to rent a scooter if needs be. Why is there no streets into the village here? Let's see if I can turn here. Linda, about commercials, yes, I know. It's basically... oh, maybe that's why the chat was quiet at some point. Is there no way in there? Let's see. Yes. So basically, I suspect it's the very reason why we had this bug a couple of months ago. There's basically no options for me now to have no commercials at all. So that's what YouTube wants. I've set it to the minimum I can possibly do. Obviously, it's a little bit less income for me, but it's much better for you because you're not gonna miss too much of the stories. But I've got no option to put 0. I could choose to have the live not monetized, but then YouTube would still put ads. It's just that I wouldn't get the money out of it. So yeah, sadly, it's what we have to deal with on YouTube, I'm afraid. He's sleeping here. Right, so this is a bit of the village. Oh, you know what? I'm lying. I'm stepping on a road now. It's probably the only road in the village. There's a stop ad arrow. Oh, interesting. Oh, you mean a skip button? Yeah. Yeah, it depends. I'm not even sure you're all getting the ads at the same moment. That's the problem, because if it was at the same moment, then obviously I could stop myself from what I'm saying and just give it a minute. But if you all get them at different times, it's a bit of a nightmare, really. Alright, it's all done. I'm just going to put my shoes back on because there could be pieces of glass here. Bear with me 1 sec. Oh no, you know what? It's going to be complicated. Let's go barefoot. It's very quiet at this time, but in a few moments you'll see, you'll have a lot of tourists walking around. It's very different in Palawan from the islands I've seen so far. In coming in, for example, we would stop in a little village, and some people would take photos with us and stuff because we were really exotic, let's say. Here, it's very touristy, so we are not unique anymore. And the prices here are double. It's still cheap for European standards, but you know, we've been to those little eateries with I don't know, rice, eggs, spring rolls. For example, in coming in, a spring roll was 5 pesos. Here it's 20. It's still, you know, when you come from Europe, it doesn't seem much, but it's 4 times the price of what I would have paid in coming in, or in Bohol or in Cebu. I think I should have done the trip the other way around. So at the end of the trip, I would have been surprised by the prices. But yeah, and I'm expecting it to be even worse in El Nido and Coron. It's apparently very, very busy with tourists up there. So let's see. Linda, it is, well, I started the tour at 6:30, so it's about 7 now. See, a lot of people have rented scooters. They'll probably regret it when they go to the waterfall. Because, well, the roads are bad, but crossing the 2 rivers, that was very scary. It was little rivers, right? But, you know, it's not ideal on a moto. Right. And it's very, very green. I don't really like the colors on my phone. I don't know why it's a bit dark. Yeah, so very, very green, as you can see. Up. Okay, let me see what I've missed. It's 11 for you there, yeah. Yeah, that's why I scheduled it so early for me. It's that it's still a decent timing in Europe, and in Northern America it's quite good as well. Because last time I did 2 hours later, and we didn't have as many people joining because I think Europe was asleep. Oh. And the little doggy here that is attached. Anyway, let me show you my face again. That's gonna be the end of the tour. And let me know if you have any questions. Here we go. If not, thank you very much for joining today. If any of you left me a little tip on PayPal or buy me a coffee, yes, 6:30 a.m. Yeah. You very much appreciate it. It's really thanks to your generosity that I can keep going and create more tours. And if you want to see a bit more of me, make sure you hit the bell, under the subscribe button. Because I will I'm hoping to do some more depending on signal, at least in Coron. So if you wanted to see that, they might be scheduled last minute as well, or 1 day ahead. So make sure you click that bell. This way you'll get an email. And let me show you the shops while we're here. Cool. Thank you for coming today, guys. Hopefully I'll virtually see you soon. Let me show you. Hold on. Those shops, they have a lot of tiny little packaging for everything. I think I still have my... Oh yeah, I had to buy some toothpaste yesterday. Ta-da! That's the packaging. 10 pesos. So that's nothing. That's 10 pesos. I think it's like 4 cents in US dollar. 4 cents. How long will I be in the Philippines? I'm coming back on the 15th, Joe. So another 9 days. Yeah. 9 days? Yeah. Right. Cool. Thank you, guys. Have a good day, a good morning, a good evening, whatever time it is for you, wherever you are in the world. And if you were completely new to me, hope you'll subscribe to see a bit more of my live streaming. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.